Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the Philippines International Convention Center. It's the 2006 Philippines World Pole Championships, live from the city of Manila. All brought to you by Matchroom Sport and Reyes Sport and Events. And a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live here on ESPN and our viewers joining us around the world. Well, it's a race to 8 with alternate breaks. Referee in charge of the action is Nigel Reese. It's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, would you firstly please welcome, from Angeles City in the Philippines, the home of legends. So would you please welcome home the former champion of the world, Efren Reyes! Ladies and gentlemen, making his debut in the World Championships from Indonesia, it's the train, Roy and Pancho!
Well, can the train derail the magician? That's the question. Roy Pancho comes into this in a very surprising position. He's in the box seat. Efren Reyes is still a man under pressure. The deal for the magician is very simple. Win and you're in. Lose, you're out.
Yes, and let's be honest, Efren has not shown us top form this week. He's not the Efren Reyes we've seen the last year. Chalk it up to nerves, playing in front of the home crowd, doesn't want to disappoint his home fans. But he really hasn't caught that gear yet, Nick.
And what about this fella? He's caught a gear, hasn't he? He reached the final through qualification. He's won his first 2 matches, including that very good win over Tony Crosby. That was a big surprise. But now he's under the lights. Now he's on the TV table, and I don't think he's been here before.
And he's also under some pressure. Because if he doesn't get 4 racks, he's out. Tony Crosby, the man on the bubble, needs APANCHO to fall apart.
Or APANCHO to beat Reyes.
There you go.
So both these fellows could qualify. Reyes has won the lag. Yes, it's very simple. Crosby right now is looking good. He's number 1 in the heap, but he could fall to 3 if Reyes wins here and APANCHO gets 4 racks or more. If Reyes wins and APANCHO gets 3 or less, Crosby will go into the round of 64 as well.
Right.
Reyes, though, if he loses, well, it's APANCHO and Crosby who will progress from Group 2. Reyes has got plenty of action off the break. Look how central that cue ball is.
Yeah, he's going to be very pleased with that, as we're used to seeing now. The wing ball has gone into the corner pocket. You see that 3 ball rocketing right into the corner. The 1 ball also slid into the side, and the 2 ball has set up nicely. Well, as we're fond of saying, this is the kind of rack you want to open with. No clusters. Just stick to your knitting, do the work.
Yeah, it really should be a simple cleanup for any player in this World Championship. This particular table for Reyes, I think an early indication of where he's at with his form and his consistency. If he does the job here, we'll know that the fellow is perhaps getting back to his best. If there's a stumble here, it shows that those old problems that we saw in days 1 and 2 could still be around for him.
Well, everyone is putting pressure on this man to do well. It's coming at him from all sides. Well, you saw him kind of steer that shot with his cue stick, so that's a sign of a little lack of comfort.
I don't think anybody's sitting pretty, are they? Because, as you say, Roy Pancho on the big stage, he needs 4 racks. I'm sure he doesn't even want to think in those terms. And somewhere in this auditorium, I saw him a few minutes ago, Tony Crosby is wandering around, and he doesn't know who to cheer for. He needs either Reyes to demolish his opponent, or he needs APANCHO to beat Reyes.
Yes,
so
he needs a lopsided match either way.
He needs help, and he'll be rooting for whoever jumps out into the early lead.
I can tell you, he told me right before I came in here he doesn't like his chances. Efren Reyes needs the first rack. Nice break and run to open his. This young man, Roy APANCHO, everyone has glowing things to say about his personality. He's just a great fellow, but he has confided in us that he is a nervous wreck right now. He would rather be anywhere than on this television table with so much at stake.
And I really hope for his sake, a young man on the big stage for the first time, I hope he can handle this, Jerry. It would be a real shame for him to have played so well in his first 2 matches to suffer a meltdown here. And I'm sure the psychology, Jerry, if you were coaching him, that's the most unconvincing start. If you were in his corner, you'd be saying, don't think about 4 racks. I need 4 racks to qualify. You've got to think in terms of winning the match, haven't you?
Yeah, and that starts with concentrating on each individual rack one at a time. Stay in the moment. But he's been presented with a very tough table. You see, balls are crowded up against the rails. There's nothing out in the open, nothing in the middle of the table. I'm sure we'll see him play a safety here, marry the cue ball up against the 8. What he doesn't want to do is leave that 4, though, down on the rail, because Reyes is one of the best kickers in the world, and he's got a big pocket. That 7 ball can help him put the 4 in.
This is the problem when you're playing Reyes, isn't it? It is so hard to find somewhere safe on the table.
Oh, it's so difficult to disarm this man. But that turned out to APANCHO's favor.
Will it pass, though? Will it get past that brown?
Well, it doesn't look like it from that angle. And I also don't know if the 4 is tall enough or in front of the 7 ball enough for him to play a carom and hit the 4 first, slide off, and then push the 7 into the pocket.
From this angle, that would appear to be the best shot for him, but...
Well, I don't know. It looks like that 4 is below the 7. If it's below the 7, he can't. Tough shot for someone admittedly suffering nerves. Oh, it doesn't look like it passes at all.
And he's gone for the rest. And it doesn't look like it, but as we've seen before, these angles that we see through our camera lenses are deceptive. And
well, he's overstruck this ball.
Yes.
He wanted to leave it up on that rail. Instead, he's left it out in the middle of the table. Nevertheless, obviously a difficult shot.
He didn't want so much action off that top rail, though, did he? He's given Reyes a good chance here, and if Reyes has got his eye in, don't be surprised if he nails this one.
Well, whoever makes this 4 ball, the rest of the table is open. So this is the shot, making the 4. Now things could change. Nope. Still the same ball game. Whoever makes the 4 has the huge advantage. He's got to go for this in the bottom right-hand corner pocket. Great shot.
Nailed it. Oh. He's moved everything around, but I'm not sure he actually wanted to do that, did he? Or doesn't it make a lot of difference?
Well, it really doesn't matter too much. The 8 ball was in a position where he could make it. If it's gone, it doesn't bother him because it's not the next ball up. So he doesn't have to change his immediate plan. And he's got the right position here to slide across the table to take the green 6 next. And 7 and 9 are laying in duck shape. So should be an even score in 3 more strokes. Just bring that ball back to his side of the table. Well, job done now for APANCHO. So, tie ball game, 1 apiece.
Just out of our camera view there, it is packed to the rafters. We're all here to see whether Efren Reyes will join us in the elimination phase of this year's World Pool Championship, when the field gets cut from 128 to 64.
Yeah, it's a brutal day when half the field has to go home.
Another good break from Reyes. Plenty of action and a look at the one ball. He'll take that.
Yeah, you know, this is the best we've seen Efren breaking this week. His break has been kind of, well, let's just say lacking the last couple of days. But he's got to be happy with this. Oh, but he's not staying down on his shot. There's some nerves in Reyes' belly because he's coming up. As soon as he shoots, he's steering the shot with his cue stick. His cue stick should stay straight out in front of him like that after every shot. And he should stay down. And he admits he's having problems staying down on his shots.
What would cause that, Jerry? Is it just some mental tension?
It's when you stroke that cue ball, you know if it's going in the right direction right away. And as soon as you think it's a little bit off, you have this body English that you throw into it like a bowler.
Like you're just getting out of it, basically.
Yeah. And nerves, just plain nerves, will cause you to jump up after you shoot rather than stay down. See, he's putting body English into these shots. You saw him just move his arm there. He's not staying still. That's a nice still shot.
It's been another good rack, hasn't it? Again, off the break. Roy APANCHO hasn't got out of his chair for the second rack that Reyes has broken.
Right in the heart. Efren Reyes. Can't complain about it.
He's coping with the heat at the moment. Well, he's 2-1 down to Efren Reyes. But remember the deal for APANCHO. After those 2 wins in his first 2 matches, he can afford to lose this match as long as he gets 4 racks. He's got a ball. He's got the one ball.
And he's going to have a shot. The blue 2 winds up close to that white cue ball. So this is a much better table than he faced last time when everything was hugging the rails.
Yes, nicely done. Nice little bit of finesse.
Yeah, but he's not going to be happy. That 9 ball, he moved it over so that it's blocking the 5 from the path of the pocket. There's nothing he can do with the 9. So now he's got some work to do that he didn't have to do before. Trying to figure out what he's going to do with that 5 ball. Ah, boy. I don't know. Well, where he places the cue ball after this shot will give us a clue to his plan. He may be able to strike the 5 ball, hold the cue ball right where the 5 is, let the 5 glance off the 6 and wind up behind the 9. But then you're giving Efren Reyes a kick toward a pocket. Well, I believe that option's just been taken away.
Yes, absolutely. He's going to have to head for the hills, isn't he? He has no other option.
He's got to head for the hills, but how? I mean, I don't know if the 5 ball can move behind the 6. I don't think it can. Doesn't look like it. I don't believe there's any chance at the carom of hitting the 5 first and making the 9, although you can sometimes be surprised on that if he could drive straight forward past the, through the 5 ball and have the cue ball veer into the 9, he could win the game here. Nope. It did pass. He did get past the 6, so he's executed about the best shot he could do in that situation. Although remember, he didn't need to be in that situation.
Yeah, that was a self-inflicted wound. He's surrendered the table to Reyes. And what can the number 2 seed here do with this opportunity? Well, he's going for safety as well. And has he got it? Is that going to stick its nose out? No, that's all over the place, isn't it?
Not at all what Reyes had intended. He wanted to be well behind that 6 I'm sure he wanted that 5 ball to be nowhere near the pocket.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well,
anywhere but there.
Can he see it?
If he can, it's only just.
Yes, he can. Well, according to the camera, he can see it. I can tell you it looks quite different on the table. But, well, he's got the back of his cue elevated a little bit, like he's trying to twist around the ball, but doesn't appear like he needed to. He's probably just trying to put a little draw on the ball. No, like you said, this man sure doesn't look nervous now, does he?
Not now. That was that last shot was fraught with danger, and he's made it look very simple. Got great position, and all he's got to do here is finish the job to level it up at 2 apiece, just like that.
Yeah, Pancho poured water on that adrenaline fire that he was so worried about. 4.
And the cue ball got a kick, but I think it's going to be a very favorable one, or is that one going to just keep drifting?
Well, he's one of the best bankers in the world. We'll see how well he does if he chooses to go that route. You can see how the table opens up. He gets kicked out of position from the cue ball, but actually he's in a better shape now than had he not been kicked. That's why he wins all those one-pocket tournaments. The banks are always open for him.
You looked at that and thought, well, it's a non-issue, this one. You just knew he was going to nail it.
I saw this man play some absolutely amazing bank shots at the Derby City event last year.
I think we've got another rack here where Roy APANCHO isn't going to move. Reyes has yet to give him one shot on his break.
Yes, Reyes wanted to hit that one another couple of inches, but he'll be able to solve this little problem. Perhaps another bank, or he can slice it into the side, move the 6 ball around a little bit. He's just made it tough. He didn't want to hit that 6 that full.
No.
Or he would have liked to have hit it a little fuller. Either way, it would have worked out better than this.
Well, he's successfully negotiated his way past that one. And the hard work done. He's not wasting much time today, is he, Reyes? This is much more businesslike.
Yes, it is. And so far, every player here has held his serve. Nobody's gotten their serve broken yet.
Ooh, he tiptoed down a danger line, didn't he?
I thought that ball was going to go right into that side pocket. That's the popular scratch pocket on the break shot.
It nearly did. But he got away with it.
A bit of a tester to open this rack with, however.
His pottings look pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It looks real good.
Let's not hope that's the kiss of death on him. Every shot he's taken on, he's made with some authority. And there is the commentator's curse. Yes, you can wag your finger at me, Jerry Forsyth. I know that was all my fault.
Seems to happen every time.
And just to make it worse, there is a deep, wide channel down there for Efren Reyes to claim this 1 ball.
But see, Efren is just not in form. I mean, he came up way short on that ball. Now he's taken the offensive posture virtually away from this rack. And I shouldn't say that. He is the magician. He can come up with shots I can't even imagine. No,
that is uncharacteristic.
Truly is. Efren just isn't being comfortable in the arena. He had a chance there to break his opponent's serve, and you always want to do that when you can. But boy, this is an uncomfortable place to cue from.
Foul.
Yep, he touched that 5 ball.
And it was called instantly by Nigel Rees, our match referee.
You can see the 5 ball wobble.
Oh, yes. They don't get many wrong, these officials, do they?
No, they've been here before.
So that's a gift for Reyes. A real chance for 4-2. Such a shame for APANCHO because it was another terrific shot.
Yes, well, everyone plays by the same rules. And Reyes is about to serve up that broken serve now. This is going to put APANCHO in a bit of a hole. Now he's got to wait for Reyes to give him an opportunity. Reyes not fond of doing that.
It's looking good so far for Efren Reyes. This for 4-2. And he has the break of serve he's been looking for. He's in control of this match. Efren Reyes, if he wins, he qualifies.
That miss in the last rack by APANCHO seemed to have calmed Reyes' form down. Let's see if that stays with him. Is this a dry break?
We don't see too many of those.
Well, this is exactly the opportunity that APANCHO needs.
Look at the way the balls are spread out as well. I mean, it's not a walk in the park rack, but it's an achievable one. And the way this fella's been potting.
He's a little unlucky that he can't get to the bottom of that cue ball because he needs to for shape on the 2. One long shot has to be followed by another, and he's straight in.
If he gets this one, he's got control of the table.
If he gets on the 3. He has to have pretty good speed control to get on that 3 ball because he's straight in. He doesn't have a lot of... Well, he's going to try and stop. Oh, he is asking a lot of his cue. That was just asking too much.
Settle down, please.
Long shot in this kind of situation, and also to jack up your cue stick. A missed opportunity for Roy APANCHO.
Well, he's feeling some heat here, isn't he? Because Reyes, if he runs out here, will be within 3 racks of victory, and APANCHO, to make sure, still needs 2 more himself.
Yeah.
So his tightrope just got a little thinner, and Tony Crosby's smile just got a little wider.
Well, I haven't seen Efren jump up on any shots lately. I haven't seen him steer the shot with his cue. I haven't seen him move his arm. Seems to be back in form. He twisted his head that time. I'm amazed to see any nerves in Reyes at all. I mean, the past year I've watched him win a $250,000 pot, a $500,000 pot, and he went through it like he was playing in his rec room. That tells you it's not the money for this man, it's the honor of playing in his home country.
Yeah, you do get the sense that having won it once, this is the one that he really wants. This is the one in his backyard. And he's going about at least putting himself into the last 64 the right way. That's another effortless rack, and Roy APANCHO better watch out. Reyes is in some form. a must-win rack for the young man from Indonesia, because if he can't pick this one up and Reyes goes to 6-2, I'm not sure that APANCHO is going to get those 4 racks that he needs.
He really needs to bear down. And that could cause the nerves to come right back into that arm. Really, he's not being very fortunate with the layouts that he's getting. This could be a lot easier. Well, two-way shot, knowing that if he missed it, he would leave Efren a safe.
Well, what can Reyes pull out of the...
He's going to have to masse around those balls. He's going to have to swerve this cue ball. And he's fouled doing so, so the opportunity comes back to APANCHO.
You always think, Jerry, that when you're talking about Efren Reyes, there's no shot beyond him. But I was looking at that one and thinking, he can't make that. Nobody can make that shot.
Well, no doubt that was a very tough shot, but I've seen Reyes make tougher. So
that's just what Roy APANCHO needed. Just settle the adrenaline back down.
Yes, to get really comfortable, he needs this rack and as well as the next one.
I wonder if he knows what the scenario is.
Oh, of course he does. And that's probably not to his advantage.
Yes, because you're not thinking anymore of getting 8 racks. You're just thinking, I've got to get to 4.
Right.
And suddenly that becomes a mountain to climb. But he's got a very good chance of getting on his own personal hill here, isn't he? If you look at it like that, if he needs 4.
That's right. Really nothing to stop him at all here.
Needs to just put the brakes on, and it does.
Probably would have appreciated a little more angle than what he has. Indeed, that could be tragic. Worked out.
Just got to make sure of position on the black. And this should be another rack in the APANCHO ledger.
Good shot again. It'd be easier to get on the 9 if he had a bit more of an angle. Yeah, I think he's going to choose the smart shot. Just roll forward, take a bit of a longer shot on playing it down in these corner pockets. Whoa, he fooled me. He had enough angle to spin around 2 rails and play the 9 in the same pocket as the 8 ball. That worked out.
It did indeed. Roy APANCHO is on his own personal hill here. Now let's see if normal service will resume here for Reyes, who, remember,
Efren Reyes to break, leading 5 racks to 3.
was dry last time out. I would suggest we're not going to see back-to-back dry racks. And we don't, because the wing ball is deposited. And that one ball is available to him.
Well, it is. Take another look at the break shot first. We'll go through the potential problems here. I believe the only pocket available to that one ball is the side, and if that is so, then the cue ball is going to be moving away from the blue 2 that's at the top of the table. So he's really got to make this white ball dance if he chooses to go after this one. Oh, it was available in the corner. That makes things easier.
Just a little meld down at the bottom of the table there. The brown and the 9 ball together, but I think that brown will pass into one of the bottom pockets. That's 7.
To be honest with you, I can't tell, but the way Reyes plays this table out will certainly let us know. He's gone a little too far on this shot. The 8 ball may hamper him, but no. Well, we'll see what kind of position he plays on this 6 ball. Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what his plan is on that 7 now, because I'm sure it doesn't pass into the corner pocket where he can just stop here. Oh, he's trying to break them apart.
Oh, and he's done it. But has he done enough?
I don't think he's going to be jumping for joy at the result there.
Could he go for a combination?
It would be a very, very thin cut on the 7, but it may be there. Doesn't look like that. Well, he is. He's going for that combination. Yeah, Efren, I'd take another look at it as well. I know he chose the bank.
Oh, he loves those bank shots.
Efren Reyes rolling right along now.
Indeed he is. Getting closer.
And will it be this one?
Whoa, he's lucky. He's lucky. I was just going to say there, Jerry, if it isn't this rack, if Reyes takes this rack, APANCHO will have to break the Reyes serve.
Right.
He doesn't want to go there. And it was nearly disaster from the out. As it is, he has no shot on the 2 to speak of. Can he try and line something up? Can it slide past that brown? Well, the way he's lining it up, it looks like it goes. Yeah, again, that camera angle a little deceptive.
He's just on the wrong side of the 3. But he can go. Oh, he's just going to take a short roll.
It can be cruel, the luck of the draw, can't it, Jerry? There will be 1 or 2 players progressing from this tournament with 1 win.
Right.
Somebody out of this group is going home with 2 wins.
Right.
Oh, that's trouble. Oh, no. He's just about got it.
But, you know, everybody knows that math going in, so you can't claim that it's unfair. The task is obvious from day 1.
And the seedings, by the way, will count for nothing. Oh, that's another one that wiped its feet on the way in. That's 2, and he's just got a bit of bounce off the rail, but those last 2 balls have diced with the jaws.
Yeah, and this is a tough shot, Nick.
Tough shot for a young man that looks like he's tightening up.
Knowing how important this rack is to him, this shot must look unbelievable. But
oh, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing but net.
Well, if he gets these 2, he'll give himself a huge pat on the back. He just needs the 9.
And that is almost automatic.
Well, the one man that we thought was the make weight out of Group 2. 6 over Garcia, Roland Garcia of the Philippines. So we know one of our qualifiers from Group 2. Are we looking at the other qualifier?
Yes, one man on the table has accomplished his goal. The other one, Efren Reyes, still has some work to do. He still has to win this match.
Tony Crosby just became the biggest fan of Roy APANCHO in the building, because the only way he can reach the last 64 now is if APANCHO can come back from 6-4 down to win this match.
Oh, so true. Boy, this is a different Efren Reyes from the fellow who started this match. Reyes just connecting the dots. This 9-ball to put him on the hill. That's where he stands. Reyes leads Roy APANCHO 7-4.
Time for the break.
He wins at 8-4, and I think that is good enough for APANCHO
Nice and quiet then, please.
to finish top of the pile.
Reyes can win this group because he would be tied with APANCHO on wins and would have more racks won.
More racks won. But if APANCHO wins this rack,
oh, he's got to win, I believe, 3 more.
oh, really? Right. Well, it's all academic anyway, isn't it? I'm sure these two fellas aren't thinking about that. They're just thinking about.
They can care less.
Yeah.
So, APANCHO keeps getting tough little layouts.
Yeah, he's got a 7 and 9 to worry about somewhere down the road. And he's got a sneaky little red 3 to try and dispose of here.
Hey, he has to let this cue ball roll a little bit. Oh, he's really overrun this shot. He'll be putting a little extra altitude on his cue stick. He's already fouled an intervening ball once.
Oh.
There you go.
I'm glad his future in this year's championship wasn't hinging on that shot. That would have been a heart stopper.
Look at Efren.
Nice and quiet then.
He sees the humor there. But I bet he was counting to 5.
There's the overrun. Left himself a bit of a headache. Now this is the shot, isn't it?
Yeah, because really he would, unless that 7 ball goes into the corner he's about to play the 6 in, he would need to be below the 7. Oh, it does pass. He's in good shape. Well, a much more comfortable Roy APANCHO has just taken his 5th rack. Now,
Thick and fast, all of them with implications. And I believe on one of those outside tables, the Crown Prince of Brunei has picked up a win as well.
well,
We'll confirm that.
Reyes gets cue ball kicked down table by the 8, and that's created some problems for him. He'll either have to swerve around this 6 or jump over the edge or kick. Or push out. He has a push out available. Well, he's striking it with a level cue. The 6 ball must not be sticking his nose as much as I had thought.
Well then, this might get interesting.
Efren better be careful.
Well, if APANCHO cleans up here, he goes to 7-6. He breaks next. Reyes could, having been in control of this match, could suddenly find himself in a hill.
Absolutely.
In a rack he has to win to stay in the game.
Absolutely.
How quickly can this thing turn around?
And he's playing an opponent who has nothing to lose.
Oh, he's rolling now, isn't he?
Free stroke. He can show off.
As you say, APANCHO has he's got his party for tonight ready already. He would certainly dampen a Filipino party if he puts Reyes out here. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but it's not an impossible scenario to see a hill-hill match brewing now. Out of nothing.
Oh, I imagine there's some wringing of hands
here in the Philippines at the moment.
And Tony Crosby somewhere in a hotel room is maybe unpacking his bag.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to call the airline back.
This is torture for Tony, isn't it? A torture for him as well. That's not exactly where he would want to be for a final shot.
No, but
Quiet, please.
with the tension out of his arm, just make
Oh, no. He couldn't care less, could he?
Oh! Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh, he had conceded. Roy Apancho had already conceded. Well, you don't see that every day, do you?
What is it about an Efren Reyes match that just produces drama?